What's going on, everyone? Welcome in to a Thanksgiving edition of Snaps. I'm TBob Bear. He is Aaron Murray. Sorry we're a day late. I was driving down here to my in-laws' beautiful home in Georgia. And I mean, as you can see, guys, I'm out here on the deck. The Christmas and fall vibes are just out of control. We're talking browns, reds, oranges, yellows, every which shade. It's nice and cool. I'm very cozy. I've got my Shire sweatshirt on. I've got some Diet Coke in a West Virginia cup here. Not
Why West Virginia?
actually.
Why West Virginia?
That's where all my in-laws are from, Morgantown.
No shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why I'm a WVU boy. Yeah, and the only reason I don't have a scotch yet is out of pure laziness, because that would be the only thing that would make this better. But yeah, I'm feeling very happy, feeling very thankful.
The stockings are already up before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, this is so because we were bringing all the grandkids here. You know, I think mom, pop wanted to blow it out and get all the Christmas accoutrements up and ready to go. And his house is Christmas out. It's putting me in a great mood. I'm very thankful for them. I'm very thankful for my family. I'm very thankful for you, Aaron Murray. And I'm very thankful for all of our wonderful community here on Snaps. Everybody, dude. I love them. It's been so much fun. And yeah, and we got some big news. We got a couple deals done. So more on that later. Great. It's starting to work, guys. The dream is starting to come true. And that's thanks to y'all. Mac McCown, TBob plays a priest and wow, he would never go to Vegas. I mean, you're right. But I've gone to Vegas. I hate Vegas in a lot of ways, in almost every way, except for the part where I'm like at the time when I'm actually fucked up, I'm having fun, which admittedly is, you know, most pretty good percentage of the time. Yeah. But
you're just having a good time because the last time you went, LSU lost to USC.
No, that was not it.
Yes.
It didn't help. But that
you can't tell me if LSU would have won that game, you would not have been like, I fucking love Vegas. Let's go. Wow.
That's a very good impression of me. That's a very good impression of me.
But... You know what's always great when the beginning of shows when TBob is in his office compared to doing the show at home, because you're just so much more quiet when you're doing your the kids are around or the wife's around.
Yeah, it's my wife.
You're not drunk.
No, it's my wife. It's my wife. Because even today, I'm starting my morning show. And she's like, why don't you just talk in a normal volume? I'm like, what do you like? You can't. It's like an entertainment show. I'm a radio. I can't just sit there. Sometimes though, when you catch me on our night shows too at home, I'm feeling a little more chill. End of a long day. I'm not still in work mode. What are you thankful for, Aaron?
What am I thankful for? I am thankful for my amazing wife who deals with the kids all year long while I'm on the road on the weekends. Shout out to Sharon as always.
Shout out.
This show for the fun and the people that join us every week, every day, like you said, really, really love it. And thankful for our new sponsors to keep us going.
Yeah. And most importantly, guys, they did not seek any control over the content or nothing. They just wanted to partner with us because of y'all. So it's awesome. We're very excited. And we'll have more news on that starting next week. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, share with your friends. Okay, so this is a preview show. We're going to hit the games pretty quickly today, but we got a lot of good games to get to. It's the final week of the season, man. How about that? So crazy. Final week of the regular season. We've been all off season dying to get here, and it's gone by so quickly. And that's what, let me say this off the top of the bat. We're going to talk about all the big games here, but I don't care who you cheer for. Enjoy this Saturday because it's another Saturday of college football. And this is something that I've been thinking about a lot. And I guess what spurred it was obviously the LSU Oklahoma game that I've had to talk about all week. But it's there's nothing on the line. There's no playoffs. Everybody wants to have all these conversations about recruiting and buyouts and coaches. Mm-hmm. I'm like, hey, how about this? How about fuck that shit? How about what we do? How about we fucking celebrate LSU, Oklahoma, Saturday night, Death Valley, 60-minute fight. See who wants it. See who's a man. See who's internally motivated. See who wants to play because they got fucking pride and toughness, mentally and physically. I can't wait, dude. It's going to be an absolute dogfight, but it will not be one of the games we talk about today. And so if you're in that mode as well, let's have fun and be present for this weekend, this final regular season weekend of football. Rivalry week is here, and we'll talk Texas A&M, Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Clemson, Tennessee, Vandy, and Auburn, Alabama.
There's so many good ones, though. I mean, there's some ones that we're not even hit on this weekend that, I think there's some pivotal games that maybe we'll touch at the end, like Notre Dame, USC, Miami, Syracuse. I know it's not a rivalry game, but like, I think Syracuse wins that football game. A lot of good stuff this weekend.
Outright.
A lot of good stuff. Yeah, outright.
Damn.
Miami's an 11-point favorite. Holy shit.
Locke Hesse says, I decided this is my favorite week of the year because everyone's excited about something. There are disagreements about food and football, but we're all excited about both. True. You know what I'm really looking forward to, actually? I'm bummed that there's no Egg Bowl this year. But I think Tulane-Memphis is going to be a really fun Thanksgiving Day game.
Yep.
That's a very good AAC matchup. Green Wave still have a shot at the playoff. I mean, if Boise falls, Tulane's right there. Also, did you realize how good Tulane's redshirt freshman quarterback has gotten this year, Aaron? Darren Mensah?
No.
He is 6th in the country in passer rating, but you're like, okay, well, he's probably not doing that much. He's 6th in the country in yards per attempt.
Ooh,
and has 18 touchdowns and 4 picks. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Pretty damn good.
That's what I'm saying. How much money do you think they're going to have to raise to keep him? Because those are the conversations that are already starting. All right.
Too rich for that state. Too rich for that state.
Well, yeah, you got to remember Tulane's a little different. A lot of transplants, a lot of private money.
Yeah.
At the risk of being racially insensitive, a lot of your people at Tulane.
Really?
And your people tend to be pretty wealthy. I don't know why.
But also very stingy though, too. So
okay, you said it, not me.
I'm just gonna say.
Tell me,
they're wealthy for a reason. They don't just give their freaking money away.
We gotta keep Darian Mensah. He's a good. Hey, how about this one? Hey, the boy, he's a good Mensah.
He's a good Mensah.
He's a good Mensah. A good Mensah. One day, maybe, you know what? We know we're going to make it is when I get canceled for bad Jewish impressions. That's it. Like if we get big enough to where one of these things get us canceled, then we know that we finally made it. All right, let's dive into the games then. Texas A&M, by far the most expensive ticket of the weekend. It is the 119th time that these two teams will be playing one another. For this time, the first time in the SEC. Interesting stat that Jake Hester put on my radar this morning. And I think it comes from Brad Crawford 247. Admittedly, Aaron, Texas may not have played great teams this year, but Texas does have the most wins in the country over bowl-eligible teams.
Ooh.
7. Second place is Notre Dame, Penn State, Alabama with 6.
You say Notre
Ohio
Dame?
State.
Did you say Notre Dame?
Notre Dame.
Did you say Notre Dame? One more time. Notre Dame was second?
Yeah.
Okay.
With 6.
Thanks.
Yep.
Just clarify.
We'll see. Penn State, Ohio State, Boise State, Miami, SMU, Ole Miss 5, South Carolina, Georgia, Oregon, Arizona State, Tennessee, Tulane 3. Very interestingly, Clemson 1. So Clemson, an outlier, easy schedule at this point. But whatever.
Where was Indiana in that? Josh, I turned it into this conversation.
3.
I was asking.
3. No, 3. They were tied with Arizona State, Tulane, and Tennessee. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, didn't expect that, did you, smart guy? You weren't listening, were you, smart guy? Just working on your fucking golf swing, that stupid pretty head of yours. All right. So Texas, look, they haven't played a great team, but they played a lot of good ones. And to their credit, like Indiana, but better, they have beat the hell out of those teams, right? Like, think about their win over Florida and how much more intimidating that looks after what we've seen Florida do the last couple of weeks.
once again, I'm not recognizing Texas, Florida at all, just because of the fact that, as I said multiple times, that was a Florida team that was not even close to being equipped to compete in that atmosphere in that football game.
Oh,
But
that's true.
overall, I love Texas. I love their defense. I actually just watched their game against Kentucky this past weekend because I have Kentucky Louisville. So obviously deep diving into that. That defense is really good. And it's not just because they handled Kentucky. I get it. It's Kentucky's offense. But it is a weekly thing of Texas, that side of the football, how fast they are, how physical they are, all three levels. And that's what kept them from winning a championship a year ago. That secondary was god-awful, and it cost them an opportunity to win a national championship. This year, it's different. This is a defense that can win football games, will continue to win them football games, going against an offense. And A&M right now, let's be honest, like they lack playmakers. With Le'Veon Moss out, they lack playmakers.
Killed them.
And I think the receivers are good. I think Marcel Reed has a very bright future. I think he's pretty damn talented. No doubt about it. I think around him is just average. And you can't be just average with that kind of defense.
Purely on paper, Texas wins this game. Aaron, so you know I love stop rate, right?
Yeah.
Which is just the percentage of time that the opponent gets the ball. How often does it end in them not scoring? And, well, look who's number one. Notre Dame, 81.6%. Ohio State at 2, 81.4. Texas at 3, 80.5. Tennessee at 4, 80.2. What do all these teams have in common? They're all in the playoff. So, yes, Texas on paper, the defense is a strength. The offense is a bit inconsistent, but they only feel like they're okay because I think we had such high expectations for them this week. Yeah. They're still really solid. Like on paper, Texas is clearly the better team. For reference, Texas A&M is 50th in stop rate. They get stopped 65% of the times. 1.8 points per drive to 0.92 for Texas. So big advantage. But Texas A&M does have a chance. And the reason is Kyle Field.
Yes, that's it.
Kyle Field is going to be. I mean, remember, that thing was shaking when they played LSU, and that will pale in comparison compared to the emotion in that building come Saturday. Is it a night game? It's a night game, right? Come Saturday night.
7:30, 6:30 local.
Yep. I mean, bruh, are you – you got to remember, A&M, we all know this. They are a cult. What is the basis of a cult? Belief, emotion. What happens – when from the time you're indoctrinated in the cult, the one thing you're raised to hate the most is Texas. And then Texas comes into your house at night and there's a trip to the SEC championship on the line. The stakes could not be higher. The emotion for A&M could not be higher. And I actually do think that's enough, Aaron. That is enough to make some spooky shit happen and completely throw this game out of whack and open the door for A&M to win.
No, 110%. I mean, listen, I had their game against New Mexico State 2 weeks ago, and it was 105,000 people going crazy for 3 quarters against New Mexico State. Throw in the fact that this game, it's a rivalry that's reborn in the state of Texas. You've been said like, oh my God, you don't want Texas to join the SEC because now you're going to be little brother. So they've had to hear that. You have a trip to Atlanta. You have and keeping your playoff dreams alive. Like there is a lot of storylines in this game. Any excuse you need to get rowdy, plus it's game day is going to be there. Everything's going to be there. What the hell is that?
I'll show you in a second. We'll get there in a second. Sorry. I was trying to do that behind the scenes.
It is going to be, I would say, probably the most intimidating atmosphere in college football this season is going to happen this weekend in Kyle Field. They said they can get to 110,000 people. That's what they got versus Notre Dame. 110,000 freaking Colt members losing their minds starting at 6:30 Central there in Kyle Field. So like that is the reason why I think the game's close, but then talent's still talent. And you look at A&M over the past 3 weeks, got their doors blown out for South Carolina and lost to Auburn and gave up a ton of yards to Auburn, a ton of yards to that Auburn offense. Does not give me confidence against, I mean, the one difference
they'll play, but you do agree they'll play way better than they did the Auburn game.
They will play better. Both those games were on the road. Both those games were against mobile quarterbacks. We've seen good defenses and good defensive lines handle Texas and handle Quinn Ewers.
So that is, I was going to say, that is the one, that is definitely an area that I'm looking at. This will be Quinn's greatest test yet. And it's weird because I feel like Quinn's been somewhat disappointing, but if you actually look at the numbers, it doesn't look that disappointing on paper.
No.
I guess he had the bad half against Georgia. What do you have? A shaky half against Oklahoma, I think, to open up that game, but the defense carried the day. Yeah, shaky quarter. But yeah, that A&M pass rush, front seven, that crowd, this will be Ewers. This is really going to put him to test mentally and physically.
It's going to be interesting in the next 2 weeks, the decision that they make as an offense heading into the playoffs. Because if you have back-to-back weeks of Quinn struggling against elite defenses and him being a statue in the pocket, that's to me, right? I'm with you.
I know you're not pushing Arch right now, are you?
I'm trying not to, because I said it all year that Quinn's the better quarterback. Quinn's the better quarterback. But Quinn, you got to show me a little bit more juice. Little bit more. This is a big opportunity for him. I mean, would you say right now, as you sit back, I know we can look at the stats and we can say all we want about him being not, it doesn't feel as bad as it is, whatever you may want to say, the narrative is. But what is going to hold Texas?
I feel like you've said that when I've been overly critical of Quinn at times this year.
I have now jumped onto that bandwagon about 2 weeks ago. You remember I said that?
Oh my God! Wait, so you're on the other side now. Oh,
I literally jumped on this like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I jumped on the other side.
Just because he can't run?
Yes.
Well, okay. So I guess you brought me.
What happens in this game if Quinn is a statue and A&M's defensive line tees off on him and they can't move the football?
So the problem is, in that game, I also think A&M doesn't move the football, and I think without Le'Veon Moss
either,
that Texas finds enough offensively.
I'm saying for the psyche and the going forward.
There's a lot of talk of what great offense has Texas stopped, and I agree, guys, but I also don't think A&M's a great offense.
No,
unfortunately.
They're not.
SB says TBob Texas defense is overrated, which passing attacks really challenged him. Marcel Reed's feeling it after the Auburn game. They've been ready for Thomas and Walker, just had great games. So the problem is there again. Love Marcel Reed. Completely different beast, that Auburn defense versus Texas defense.
Yes.
So look, I'm choosing Texas to win a close one. I do think it remains close, but I think the Longhorns win in the end.
I think Marcel has to have north of 50 yards rushing if they want to win the football game. Marcel's got to have north of 50 yards rushing, maybe even more of that.
I think you got to go.
Downs.
Yeah, game control.
But that
you got to
goes
choke
Marcel's
this game out. Yeah, I agree.
It doesn't need to be full second half LSU where every play is a run play, because I do think he's matured as a pocket passer the past few weeks. But he needs to. This is a game he ain't going to feel good.
You got to have which is going to be so tough against this Texas defense. But you got to have I think if A&M's going to win, I think they got to have a 35-25 time of possession split.
Yes.
They have to because
Quinn's got to turn the ball over once or twice, which
but I think he will. I think he'll be uncomfortable and do that. And then you take advantage by limiting the offense's opportunities by slowing the game down, which again, way easier said than done against the Texas defense. But that's what I think it looks like for A&M to win this game.
First, I'll go. Greg, I am not a pocket quarterback. Do I need to bring out the highlights?
He is, dude.
I need to bring out?
Will we get demonetized if we play? Because those are old. I feel like we should be allowed to. Send me a high school link or something. You need to prove to me that you're not a pocket quarterback, because 140-yard scramble doesn't mean shit.
What do you mean it doesn't mean shit?
I mean, I'm one of the longest
it shows you the
quarterback rushing touchdowns in NFL history. Who was it? They did an entire Dorktown episode on it. It's like a 75-yard touchdown run by one of the slowest and widest quarterbacks ever. Just all the stars aligned. And he just got it.
That he's slow.
So you think we're going to see the year pass? Yes. Yeah, we need to get Aaron a shirt, not a packet pass.
Are we ready?
Okay, wait, full screen it. All right, click it. Let's see this thing, dude. Let's see.
All
right,
come on, big boy.
Over
Show
defense.
me
6-man box. Oh,
split him.
Oh,
Split him. Get out of my way. Split him.
Okay,
Get out of my way.
Okay,
Come on.
now, get in.
That
Get
ain't a pocket passer
Oh,
now.
No,
That's dual threat. I know. I know. I went down to
no,
3. I know. I went down to 3. I know. I went down to 3. He was moving though.
I was so close to granting you the rank of dual threat because you did look quick. You looked like about like Jackson Dart level quickness.
Split him.
And you did split him. You split the safeties. You did a classic Mike Vick against the Vikings.
Yes.
I'm not granting you the rank of dual threat, but I will grant you the rank of the classic white guy tagline, deceptive athleticism. And I'll give you the he can move a little bit ranking, maybe a pocket passer, but he can move. He can move a little bit. It's kind of how I feel about Carson Beck, right? Carson Beck's not dual threat, but he can move a little bit. So, Aaron, you did look pretty fast for whatever that's worth, dude. I think you looked fast. Okay, more yes, here we go. Okay, great. Let's see this.
More highlights. You ready?
Does this make you feel old? Look how grainy this fucking
Look how grainy this is. This freshman year.
Okay, rolling out. Oh, bro, I don't think this.
Come on.
I know, dude. No, I know this one finished in the end zone, but I don't think that was.
Threat.
I think the other one was much better. Even getting tackled on the 3, I think the other one was much better. That one was
I think it's
lumbering.
No, it's because it was grainy.
It was a good read.
It looked worse.
It was a good read, dude.
Worse. It was grainy.
Deceptive athleticism. Nice job, Aaron.
Don't
make me bust out my 13-yard kick return here, guys. You'll see what a real dual threat looks like. Whatever. Yeah. So I can't remember what we're talking about. So I'll talk about this to close out on Texas A&M. Do you know this guy Kyle Umlang on Twitter? Do you follow him?
No.
So his Twitter's hilarious, and year round he tweets like Aggie facts, and it's just really funny stuff about Texas A&M. This is interesting if you just want like a cheat sheet on where everybody ranks. As you can see, Texas, a lot of classical statistical advantages here. But look at this: Texas A&M college football 10-win seasons. Texas 26, A&M 12, 11 wins. Texas 11, A&M 4. It goes on and on and on. I mean, look at this, Aaron. Look, it's autistic in how extreme it is. I mean, Aaron, I'm not even look at all this scrolling. Look at all this scrolling. I'm not that's 3 hours. This is all in the last 3 hours. I'm just tweeting out
going ham on
how much better and Texas is than Texas A&M. So if you're a Texas fan, follow Kyle Umlang. You probably already know about him. If you're a A&M fan, fuck him. He wrote a literal book called Aggie Facts. I did not realize that. I knew he had the Twitter series Aggie Facts. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Guys, Texas, be careful though. Taking the A&M loss too much, or A&M losing to Auburn too much to heart. That's a classic trap game. Where
we
then
know
the next week
the coach let you know they were.
No, I know the coach fucked it up. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then the problem is the next game, sometimes fan bases have a tendency to take that team lightly, and then they're shocked when they come out and they're like, "Wait, why do they look so much better this week?"
Yeah.
It's just how that goes. Okay, I'm going Texas 20, A&M 17.
Ooh. I like it. I'll go 24-17. Texas.
All right. So there it is. Texas A&M. I don't have a dog in the fight, but I was asked today who my heart is with, and it's with A&M.
It is with A&M.
As crazy as it is, my heart is with A&M. I hate Texas in the same way that I hate like Los Angeles or New York.
Vegas.
Fuck them. Vegas. Fuck them. Texas A&M, they're fucking weird, but guess what? I'm fucking weird. Okay. If I was at that game, I'd have denim shorts on and be yelling howdy. Cowboy. Not really. But no, I'm just excited for this.
You would be, if you went to A&M, you would be one of the leaders. You'd be a yell leader.
Oh, bro, I'd be. I wouldn't be a yell. I would say the only reason I wouldn't be a yell leader. I love yell leaders, by the way. The only reason I would not be a yell leader is because I like to party too much, bro. Those guys,
They
I mean, I
not?
feel like I don't think so. They're like ROTC, or when they do party, it's probably like the weird partying that I used to do in high school that I got over. We like stick stuff up each other's ass and shit. Like, nah, like I
So
like it more
you
like
wouldn't be there.
I maybe would have been. I would have been into the LEs in high school. I think in college though, no. No. I'd rather be just in the. I would be now. I would be a cult leader. You know,
Yeah.
I would be like maybe like getting like Lassie or whatever its name is, Reveille tattooed on my ass and
Rivalry.
shit. Do you know what the craziest thing that I learned about A&M is this year?
Huh.
That Reveille outranks all those humans. And that if you're the person that takes care of Reveille and Reveille wants to sleep in the bed, you sleep on the floor.
That's awesome.
How amazing is that?
Does not surprise.
How amazing is that?
I mean, I'll go flies first class. So I mean, he set first class in front of me.
Trust me, I am disgusted at least twice a week when I remember that you told me that they used to feed Ugg at McDonald's and then he would shit all over first class on the airplane.
Yeah,
That's horrifying.
just shit
It is
everywhere.
horrifying. What do y'all do? That fat inbred fuck just shitting all over first class like he's Baron Harkonnen from Dune. That's what Ugg reminds me of. Anyway, I'm just excited for this game to be back. I think this is a game that is good for college football. And I love that there's such high stakes in it in this year's edition of it. All right, next on the list, Michigan, Ohio State. And unfortunately, now this is traditionally just a massive game, decides the Big Ten championship, huge college football implications. I don't have a lot of juice for this game this year, Aaron. The most interesting stuff going on with Michigan is going on off the field. The Bryce Underwood recruiting story and Dave Portnoy, basically Larry Ellison's secret fifth wife, who the internet doesn't even have listed as his wife because she's kind of secret, hitting up Dave, and her coming out party is her being like, you know what they say, Aaron? Hell hath no fury like a woman who went to school during the Brady Hoke era.
Yeah.
And she did. And she said, fuck that. I'm not going back. And Larry Ellison's like, hey, what do you want for Christmas, baby? You know, what do you want? You know what I want? I want a quarterback. He's like, what is it? 12? Okay, easy peasy. Like, what do you get the girl that has everything? That has a husband who has $230 billion? You get her the number one player in the nation. So I am fascinated about Michigan's potential long-term. I mean, they had Tom Brady calling Underwood. Portnoy's already got his Bryce Underwood Barstool t-shirts dropping on Black Friday tomorrow.
Do you want Portnoy owning you though? I still have a problem. He doesn't own him.
Portnoy has no money. All his job is to make him a star. Portnoy is just the marketing piece of the puzzle.
But still, though,
he's not beholden to Portnoy in any way. Beyond whatever deals they struck from a marketing standpoint. No, I mean, this was a coup. But the point is, Michigan's going to be awesome in the future, I think, for a long time. Very, very good. But this year they suck. And Ohio State, I think, is the best team in the country. And so I don't know. I think this game is actually not going to be that tight, Aaron.
No, it's not going to be that tight at all.
Do you think Michigan somehow finds a way to keep this close?
No chance. No chance. No chance. Zero chance. I don't care that Michigan over the past, or not even past weeks, but just last week found a way to score 50 points for Northwestern. They are not and will not be a good offense this season, this game, the bowl game. They don't have the weapons. So just like we talked about Texas being elite on defense, what Ohio State did last week to Indiana, to a good offense,
very good offense,
very good offense, and made them look pedestrian. 8 yards, other than the first and last drives of the football game. That's all Indiana had, 8 yards of offense. Ohio State, this is the game they want. This is the game they've been waiting for. This is everything to them. Michigan may cross the 50-yard line 2 times. It's going to be, I think it's going to be a bloodbath.
So I agree. It's going to be a bloodbath.
I think bloodbath.
I think this is like years of pent up rage that is about to come out on that field Saturday.
Yep.
Remember this, not a single player on Ohio State has a pair of gold pants, which is what you get for beating Michigan. There's not a single player on the team. So they're desperate for some gold pants.
Yep.
Now, to play with the hypothetical on the way out here.
There's no way Michigan wins this game. No
okay,
way.
but let's say, look, crazier shit's happen. I agree. But if Michigan does win, will that be the biggest implosion of a fan base and anger that we've ever seen?
Ryan
Like
Day
if
needs to get
Michigan wins, is
fired.
Ryan Day fired
Ryan Day
Sunday?
needs to get fired. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Ryan Day needs to get fired if Ohio State loses this game.
Yeah, there's never. I mean, it is
You
unreal.
cannot lose this game if you're Ryan Day. He knows it.
And
they
they're way
are
better.
a 21-point favorite at home versus Michigan. You cannot lose this game if you're Ryan Day and keep your job.
Ooh.
You can't.
So, again, Michigan's long-term future, I think, as bright, if not brighter, than anyone in the entire country at this point. Right now,
Ohio State's the best team in America right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think they got to take their ass whooping for what they did to Ohio State the last 3 years. Yeah. And I'll be interested to see, does Ohio State emerge? Because there's one place where Michigan's still all right. It's on the lines. I'll be interested to see if Ohio State emerges, though, as the bullies on the other side of this game. Like, I think
even that's a neutral. Ohio State can just be neutral there.
They can be neutral and win easily. I agree. But but from a just like revenge standpoint, can they get it to where they're just kind of like beating the shit out of them, like up front even?
I don't know. I think Michigan has too much pride. I think Michigan is still good in the trenches on both sides. I think Michigan can cause some problems up front. Michigan just does not have skill on offense. And this is going to be a game where Ohio State's going to get enough short fields that eventually the floodgates are going to open. But I do not anticipate, because of the rivalry, because of the pride in Michigan, because of how talented they are at the lines of scrimmage, that we're going to see like a third or fourth quarter where the floodgates open. All of a sudden, Judkins and Henderson are just popping off 15, 20, 30-yard runs. Like, I think Michigan has too much pride for that. I do think on the edges, though, the way Will's throwing the football this year and how talented Jeremiah Smith is, Ibuka, Cardinal Tate, go down the list. Those guys are going to eat.
I think
Will has another big game. I think Will has another big game. I don't know about Ohio State. I think the receiving game will.
I think Ohio State wins 34-10, 41-10, something like that.
I don't think they score a touchdown.
I think they find their way to a touchdown at some point somehow.
They do not score a touchdown.
It could be a pick six, fumble, something like that. I don't know.
I got
short field.
I think this is like a 38-3.
Geez, what's going on in the chat? Somebody's calling for another chatter to be lobotomized. Oh, okay, let's relax, guys. Then again, maybe he said something really fucking stupid. No, I'm just kidding. Bo Molinari says, I live in Eugene, and I think those guys would disagree, talking about the Ohio State being the best team. I get that. And I won't argue it. We'll see. I mean, sure. You want to say Oregon or Ohio State's best?
You'll get a match in 8 days from now.
True. So, dude, it might be nice because we might get like a little, if Ohio State wins that one, then maybe get like a little rubber match to decide the season series at some point in the playoffs. Which, by the way, little thought on the playoffs, Aaron. I hope, and I know they don't have to do this week, I hope in the final rankings that they fudge things a little bit if need be to avoid conference matchups in the first round.
Awesome. Two problems.
I don't want to see Big Ten on Big Ten and SEC on SEC.
No. Two problems. That, and then listen to my boy Joe Klatt this morning. I think other people have talked about this, but just think about.
There's not enough SEC teams then?
No. Just think about this. Winner of Oregon, Ohio State, who are clearly the two best teams in America right now. Yep. Winner gets the first seed. Loser will be the number 5 seed.
Yep.
Loser will probably play. Let's just play it out like this. Arizona State, and then Boise State.
Yeah. 5 seed's a good spot to be.
The winner, if it played out like it is right now, Oregon would play Georgia.
Yeah, but they get a bye.
That has to get changed.
Well, I mean, how about this? You get a bye, and how about this? If you want to win a fucking championship, you got to win all the games. So get the fuck over it. You know? Yeah.
Definitely it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I'm not saying it's not a little bit of bullshit, but like at the end of the day, if you want to win the tournament, you got to beat those teams anyway. Like if Oregon wants to win the Natty, they got to beat Georgia anyway. Like they're going to run up to that win.
Then you have to beat Georgia, and then you have to beat Ohio State, and then it's one more difficult game that you have to face.
Plus, you have to go play one less overall game.
Not that compared to everyone else, some teams
compared to the conference championship, compared to the 5 seed in this scenario, because they also play in the conference championship. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm saying I don't really give a fuck though.
I think that part needs to get fixed.
Okay.
But I'm with you. Like, I don't want to see, like, no one needs to be bitching if they fudge it a little bit so it's not Big Ten on Big Ten and SEC on SEC.
Hell no. Because, like, the projected bracket this week would have been so lame if it actually ended up like that. Like
I want to see a Big Ten team in an SEC stadium. I want to see an SEC team in a Big Ten stadium.
See, that's where I know that I lament people in their conversations about the playoff relying on their subjectivity too much, but I think the subjectivity of the committee is actually a very strong piece because there are no equations or parameters, so you can fudge things a little bit to create the best product, and I don't think that's bad.
No,
I think that's good. All right, next game on this list, Georgia Tech. The Rambling Wreck. They gave Georgia everything they wanted and then some to end last season. However, that was in Bobby Dodd. This time it's between the hedges. Look, I think you have a Georgia team right now that is in peak form. They're ascending. I think they kind of, tell me if I'm wrong here. I get the feeling outside looking in that they almost want revenge for how last season's game went, being a little closer than what it was expected. They don't. Okay, well then
I don't think they give a shit.
Okay, well never mind. I thought they did give a shit. I thought you said this is like a big game that like people care about Georgia Tech.
No, they do care about. I don't think like last year and the way it played out like has been on Georgia's mind all season. Like we can't wait to play Georgia Tech and show them that last year was fluky. Like I don't think it's just so
you're finally admitting it. This game's bullshit. Nobody cares about it, and it's an easy win.
I've always said that.
No, you haven't. You have always tried to act like Georgia Tech's a big rival. Well, whatever. You just shit all over my point I was trying to make because I was trying to hype it up. And you just UGA first class my face. So you tell us about the game then, dickhead.
Where's my trophy? Right there. It's this. This is what we play for right here. The Governor's Cup right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds racist.
Ochoa. 41-34, November 30th, 2013. This is what we play for right here. So it does mean something. There's a trophy on the line for the seniors.
What was the score of that? 44-34?
No, 41-34.
Oh, wow. Y'all sucked back then, dude.
I didn't even play. That's because I didn't play. I tore my ACL the week before.
Wait, you stolen valored the Governor's Cup? You have a trophy in your office that you had no business in getting?
I helped game plan prep for the week.
Nah.
I was 3-0, right? I was 3-0 against Tech as a starter. I deserve to get this trophy.
So why do you only have one trophy?
Only the seniors get it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry. Okay. I apologize. You deserve that. You do deserve that then.
Thank you.
Gotta be so pissed if I lost senior year.
I know that would suck. All right, I really like Tech this year. I'm gonna be honest. You look at Tech, some of their losses. Yeah, that was minus Haynes King. Haynes King is still obviously dealing with a shoulder injury, but the Aaron Philo kid's not bad at all. So I think they do enough on offense. And Georgia coming off last week and all the missed tackles. We go. This is going to be. I think this is not going. This is no blowover. Georgia dominates kind of game. I think
it's a big spread. I was thinking about taking Georgia too, though, because I thought revenge would be in play. But you're telling me no.
I like Tech. I think Tech can shorten the game up.
No, I think Tech is awesome, but I think Georgia's locked in and ascending right now, and they're battle tested. But so is Tech. To be fair,
so is Tech. I would. What's the spread?
Is there a drone in there with you? No, it's freaking neighbors doing some sort of.
So Georgia's a 19.5-point favorite. I think Tech can keep it close just with their style on offense. I think they're pretty nasty on the defense side of the football too. I think they keep it close. I think Georgia obviously wins the game, but I think Georgia wins somewhere between like 10 and 14 points.
All right. I'm going to stick with my original instincts, even though you told me I'm wrong and Georgia players don't care. I think Georgia dominates. I think in a unique way, they play Georgia Tech every single year. So they're more prepared to stop that offense than maybe like a Florida State was at the beginning of the year or something. It's very comfortable for them. And it's the Samford factor that I can't get away from here. If this game was in Bobby Dodd, I'd take Tech to cover. The fact that it's in Athens means I am taking Georgia to cover the 19.
I think the one
Big
good
win
thing
for
too
Georgia
is
here.
I think the one good thing is Georgia does not know who they're facing in Atlanta. There's no looking ahead to the SEC championship game because they do not know who they're going to be playing.
Yeah, I mean, you could just be looking ahead no matter what, though, but because you're probably
but it's hard.
Texas.
It's hard to look ahead against someone you don't know, and they've already faced Texas. They already kind of know Texas, and the game's on Friday. That game's on Saturday. So like, hey guys, focus in on this game, and then we can watch and see who we're going to face on Saturday night. We'll have a watch party.
Take it from me, brother. There's nothing worse than losing to the team in a championship setting that you beat in the regular season. So if you get Texas again, good fucking luck, because it sucks when that happens. I ruined my life, in fact. If I hadn't done that,
but the difference
I'd be
is
so
Georgia
rich and famous
Georgia
right
would
now.
still be in the playoffs. It doesn't ruin the season like it did to you.
3-loss team can't do it. Not me. Get him out of there. I'm kidding. Relax. Okay, so I think Georgia wins big. You think Georgia wins, but Tech covers?
I think Tech covers. I like Tech.
Okay. Coming up next on this list, South Carolina and Clemson. Two teams that, in my opinion, are on the outside looking in of the playoffs. Yep. I do think we nailed it with our diagram, right? That it's 3 SEC teams, 4 Big Ten, 2 ACC, 1-1-1.
Yep.
But I don't really, with that, now, well, actually, let me amend this. I was going to say, I don't see Clemson getting in because of how weak their schedule's been, but a dominant win over South Carolina maybe could be a launching pad. But then to your point, Aaron, do you punish a 1-loss championship game loser who would then be a 2 losses in favor of Clemson? I don't think so. So I think, unfortunately, South Carolina and Clemson are both very good teams.
Yep.
To your top 12, I think South Carolina's playing some of the best football in the entire country. I don't think either team's going to end up in the playoffs, but this is still a massive game for both. If they want to give themselves a chance, obviously, if chaos happens. But I think where's this game at, actually?
Clemson.
Is it in Clemson? At the end of the day, I think South Carolina's played better teams, been tested more. I think they have more NFL guys on defense, and I think Lenore Sellers is so locked in right now. I think that South Carolina gets it done on the road at Clemson.
I think they get it done on the road against Clemson too. I think they're weird to say it. I think they're the more talented football team this year. They got the better quarterback. They got the better run game. I think Clemson has a little bit advantage on the skill players on the outside, but South Carolina's defense this year has been elite. I think they'll be elite in this game. And I think there's enough of a carrot at the end for both teams to play obviously extremely hard. So I think you're going to get South Carolina's best defense going against the Clemson offense, which has been better this year. Like I've said about Cade Klubnik, really impressed the way he's played this year. Year 2 in the system, year 2 being the starting quarterback. I just think that South Carolina defense is going to be a little bit too much for Clemson. So I'm with you. I think South Carolina wins, but unfortunately a little bit too late of getting into the playoffs.
Well, and remember, that South Carolina defense, I know Dylan Stewart's a freshman, but like Kennard, I'm pretty sure all those other guys are like
they're very senior-led football teams.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So this is their last go of it, right?
Yeah.
It's their last game. The boys going to be locked in. The young guys trying to win for the old ones.
He's the first-round pick. Linebackers are all seniors. Like this is this is why they were excited about this team because of how senior that they were on defense. So they messed around this last go around versus Clemson.
God, if only they hadn't hit Garrett Nussmeier.
I know. God,
their entire world would be different. But anyway, so yeah, South Carolina defense too strong. How do you think Lenoris matches up with Clemson's defense?
I think Lenoris just plays his game, and Lenoris will be fine as long as he doesn't turn the ball over and just protects inside the pocket. He's been better at that as late, but he's an improved passer. You're seeing confidence there. The receivers are getting better. They have a very talented tight end and Joshua Simon, who's been great. And then they're running the ball. Like, he's going to get looks because him and Rocket have been dynamic when Rocket's healthy. Like, that is the best quarterback running back dynamic duo in the country when both are running and both are healthy. You're talking about 450, 470 pounds of fucking meat between the both of them, running hard with speed.
That is crazy to think about.
It's a lot probably of weight back there.
Still probably my favorite play of the year, or at least a nominee for it, is the Rocket Sanders touchdown against Mizzou to end the game.
Yeah. The
miniature Beastquake, that thing was incredible. What's up, Simplex Jamacob? He said, hey, Aaron TBob. Just saying what's up. It's a funny name. All right. Next up on the list, Tennessee Vanderbilt. We mentioned how much pressure's on Ohio State. Josh Heupel in Tennessee cannot fuck this up. Now, the key difference is Ohio State's much better than Michigan. Tennessee's better than Vanderbilt, but not like, just way, way, way better. But do you remember Tennessee a couple years ago in line for a trip to the 4-team playoff? All you have to do is beat a bad South Carolina. Yeah. What do? You fuck it up. You get knocked out. In that same way, the stars have aligned. And you get to square up with a 6-5 Vanderbilt team. And if you win, you go to the playoffs. And economic analysis shows, Aaron, that I saw Peter Burns tweet earlier. It'd be about, basically, there's like $10 million on the line for Tennessee here.
Yeah.
A win will net the athletic department about $10 million.
Good. Going back to that game for South Carolina, Spencer Rattler, 30 of 37, 438, and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah. How about that? Remember, he just figured it out for that 2-week stretch randomly out of nowhere. Rattler did.
I will say, this is not the best of matchups for Tennessee. Vanderbilt's a very much defensively, everything's in front. Make them earn it. Make them wait for them to make a mistake. They're going to eat up clock. Diego's going to make some incredible plays. He's going to convert some third downs. He's going to run the football. I mean, this game may end up being 14-10. The way Tennessee's offense is playing this year, and as of late,
I don't think Vanderbilt's defense is very good.
They're not great, but the way in which they play, they don't give up explosive plays. It feels like every drive opponents have against Vanderbilt, it is 10 to 15 plays. They just wait for you to screw up.
Tennessee's comfortable with that with Dylan Sampson. I think that's the difference. I think Dylan Sampson in that rushing attack is going to run all over Tennessee, and I do not see Diego Pavia in the offense having success. Tennessee's defense, third stopper in the country. They're just awesome. And it's funny because they're very disciplined. It's not necessarily like an elite pass rush, crazy sack numbers. You know what it reminds me of, Aaron? Some of those Georgia defenses that have been incredible the last few years, where there's not crazy sack numbers or crazy TFLs, but everything's just solid across the board. Yeah. Everybody's doing their job, keeping things underneath them, low yardage per plays, low yardage overall. Yeah.
Which is interesting because they're a lot more aggressive schematically than Georgia is when it comes to just the amount of times they bring pressure. But I'm with you. I do think that they kind of the stick on Vandy and Diego in the offense is kind of cooled down a little bit. Teams have figured out how to slow them down over the past. I mean, really since that Texas game, the past 3-4 weeks, if it's not been as productive as the beginning of the season. I think part of it is too Diego's beat the crap. When I had him versus South Carolina, the dude can barely practice half the time. I don't know what his health is this week. No insider knowledge here, but he's not the biggest of kids. He's kind of put the team on his back all year. He's beat up, just straight up. He's beat up. And I think because of that, you've seen production kind of come down a little bit for this offense. So I do think Tennessee's defense puts it on them. I just think Vanderbilt's defense, early game, 11 a.m. kickoff in Nashville, they'll be a little bit slow at the gates too. I don't think it's it's
going to be a Tennessee crowd though in Nashville. It's going to be a full Tennessee crowd.
I'm just saying it's still early. I think it will feel like the game I called when I had them versus South Carolina. South Carolina was up 7-0 at half, but you could tell South Carolina was ready to break through because Vandy couldn't do anything on offense. And all of a sudden you look up, South Carolina wins the game 28-7. I would not be surprised if we're 10-0 at halftime, kind of feel like it is an ugly game, and then Tennessee kind of runs away with it in the second half.
I mean, I could see that rhythm playing, but I do think that they run away with it. And I think Dylan Sampson is the key to running away with it, and that they absolutely and that he dominates. Tennessee fans go crazy. Tennessee's in the 12-team playoff. Everything's coming true for Josh Heupel.
So we like Tennessee with the 10.5. We like Tennessee with the 10.5.
I would take Tennessee minus 10.5. I just cannot stress enough how crazy it is that Josh Heupel has Tennessee in a 12-team playoff, and it's with defense and running the ball. Who would have ever thought? That's good team building on him.
Well,
and you know what, Tennessee?
Steve Sarkisian's the same thing, but not really the running ball, but defense.
No, I mean, remember we said that, right? Now, Ole Miss, unfortunately, isn't in that conversation anymore. Exactly. Defense. That's what I'm saying. Ohio State, Tennessee, Ole Miss, Colorado to a lesser extent, on a lower level of play. But yes,
Penn
like all
State
these teams
defense.
look at
the teams look at the teams that are in the playoff contention this year. It's defense. It's Ohio State, it's Texas, it's Penn State, it's Notre Dame. Georgia obviously more led by defense.
Aaron, the thing, it's that classic cliche. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Yep. Defense wins championships. Yep. You say yep. Yep.
I say yep. I agree.
And now one more game. Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl. And look, multiple Auburn Tigers saying, we ain't losing. Okay, we ain't never losing to no Alabama while I'm here. I can't remember their names, but a couple of young Auburn defenders feeling themselves after the A&M game, popping off, saying that there is no way they're losing this game.
I mean, if it was in Jordan Hare after what I saw last week from Auburn, I would say, okay, I can believe that a little bit. But I think going into Tuscaloosa,
there ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no way. No, especially after Alabama just got embarrassed by Oklahoma a week ago. No way.
Kalen DeBoer may not have had as successful of a year one as I thought, but he's still he's a damn good coach. He's going to have his team locked in for this game.
Yes.
Now, how do we feel about Keandre Lambert-Smith and Cam Coleman matching up with that Alabama secondary? Because I think they can find some success there.
I think they can find success, and I do believe. I know people give them crap. I think Payne Thorne's playing better as of late. I think there's some confidence. There's some balance in the offense. Jacques West Hunter's running the ball well. Keandre Lambert-Smith has been doing his thing. Cam Coleman's a freaking superstar. Simmons on the outside too. So you're seeing the balance all of a sudden on offense where you can kind of do both. And I think that obviously is very difficult for teams to slow down. And listen, I still don't know how good this Alabama defense is. Like 1 week they look elite.
Yeah, I know.
The next week they look bad. 1 week they look elite. The next week they look bad. So and that's the same thing for the offense. This Alabama team is just a little bit confusing at times. At times they look like a top 5 team. At times they look like a team that should be ranked in the 15th to 20th range. So it's week by week. But I think in a rivalry game in your stadium, still with an opportunity with that carrot dangling in front of you to make the playoffs, I think you do get the best Alabama. I think you get the best Jalen. And you're hoping you get the best from the DBs, where if you had to say which quarterback to me is more prone to making mistakes, even after Jalen threw 3 picks a week ago, I would still say you may see a couple turnovers from Payne Thorne.
Look, I think to me, the reason why I expect Alabama to be locked in isn't actually because of the playoff carrot or anything like that. It is firmly my trust in Kalen DeBoer as a head coach to reset the table and get his team to lock in. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit because I was wrong. Yeah. I had Alabama at 10-2. I did not. And by the way, Aaron, I don't think we talked about that yet, but you were very consistent throughout the offseason. Alabama would lose 3 games. Yeah. And here we sit. And they have now lost 3 games. That said, I'm going to continue to bang the DeBoer drum, and I think he gets him locked in. And I just think that Auburn's, while they're exciting in some places, young, like the playmakers, especially as we referenced there, in Tuscaloosa, Jalen Milroe bounce back game. I don't have enough belief in Payton Thorne.
3 weeks ago, Auburn at home in their stadium lost to Vanderbilt 17-7.
Yeah. No, I mean, when Auburn's been bad this year, they've been
bad.
Dog shit
bad. Alabama's been, hot and cold. So is Auburn. Obviously more cold than hot. So like I'm betting more on the fact that Alabama will be hot this game and Auburn will be cold. But when Auburn's bad, Auburn's bad.
Yeah.
On both sides, especially on offense.
Especially offensively. And I don't know how they suddenly found so much success last week. But I don't expect them to be able to do it 2 weeks in a row. Did you see Hugh crying to the team?
No.
He was crying because he felt so bad for the upperclassmen who won't get to experience the fullness of what Auburn football will be. And you know what sucks? I think he was actually being super sincere, but there's something about his vibe that just feels so televangelist that it just doesn't. I mean, actually, look, hold on the way out of here. You decide. Let me bring it up real quick. Hold on.
And no, Greg, I'm not high. My eyes are a little red for some reason, but I'm not high.
If the answer, if you're wondering who's high on this show, the answer is almost always going to be
TBob.
Me. Even though I actually, to be fair, I don't actually normally get high before we do the show. I wait till
a friend of ours last week that we went on the road trip with down to Seaside was telling us about these the chocolate mushrooms that it's like weed brownie or something like that. It's like chocolate mushrooms. Okay.
Well, hold on now, Aaron.
Okay.
You're holding. You're saying a couple different things here now. Now, you want to talk chocolate mushrooms? I love psilocybin mushrooms. Like we can maybe do a little microdose, start to open you up a little bit. We'll be in a very comfortable spot.
I've never tried it before. I would not say no.
Is this the clip? I think. Hold on, let me double check here. Okay, here it is. Okay, I found it. Sorry.
What's with everyone too with the CTE thing? When did that become such a? I mean, if anyone disagrees with what you say, it's like, oh, you have CTE. It's like,
what do you mean?
Like with my 12 team, top 12 teams.
Oh, because they're saying you're a fucking idiot because you got hit in the head too much.
I know, but like it's just
it's funny.
So insensitive to the CTE. No, come on.
Wait, what is not funny?
I think so. I don't think the CTE thing's funny. I don't think it's funny.
Hey, guess what? Everything's fucking funny. That's the whole point. That's the only way you deal with serious shit and trauma and awful stuff is to make jokes about it. We make jokes all the time here.
No, I don't think the CTE thing's funny.
What in the fuck?
I don't think it's funny.
You know what? You just want to draw
the line.
I'm
just being honest.
CTE, but of all the things and all things we joke about on this show, you're just drawing the line.
I am drawing the line at CTE. I don't think it's funny when people say that shit.
You know, you remind me of. So Isaac Hayes used to do the voice of Chef on South Park, right? And he had no fucking problem making fun of everybody in the world, right? Yep. But the second South Park did their Scientology episode, he wouldn't do it anymore because he was a Scientologist. Don't be Isaac Hayes. Okay, dude? Don't be that guy. Okay?
No. It's a good joke and brings awareness. What? No.
Yeah, it brings awareness.
No,
I agree.
It's not.
Wait, so you don't like Antonio Brown's you don't like
should I rename it to so what do you think the backlash would be if I renamed it to Aaron's Weekly CTE Top 12?
That would be fucking funny. That'd be really good. Aaron's Weekly CTE Induced Top 12. Have you seen Antonio Brown's hashtag he always uses?
No.
Everybody always says he has CTE, so he does CTESPN. Wait, have you never seen Antonio Brown's Twitter account?
No. Just
bro, he's the funniest person on Twitter. Very offensive. Very, very offensive, but like the funniest person on Twitter, actually. I like calling people smooth brain sometimes, like your brain didn't evolve. I've always liked that. All right, here we go. So do you tell me if you think Hugh Freeze is being genuine or not?
Pre last week.
One or the other.
I shared this with Eugene. I shared it with Jarquez.
Shut up.
I teared up when I told him this because it does hurt. I'm sorry. You're not going to get to experience the fullness that's coming to Auburn football. You won't get to experience the fullness of it. This is from Eugene. If some of us must suffer this year to understand adversity and show these young kids how to handle it and blossom into something for the next season and establish a true standard of winning ways at Auburn football, so be it. Sign me up, and my joy will come from that service.
All right. So I'll
So let's
say
get
this.
a War Eagle Plus account. Let's watch the whole thing. Come on now.
I think they actually might have put the whole thing up on Twitter. I'll say this. Again, I actually do think Q is being genuine there.
I do think
I think it's just I think he just has that preacher energy. I will say I love that quote from Eugene. That is a very selfless player quote. And that is the type of leadership. I don't know if Auburn will fall through on this, but I do believe that is the type of leadership that lays cornerstones for building a great culture into the future.
I agree.
No,
go be the fucking quarterback.
last week on Whiskey and Wine, yeah, Greg, the way he's tapping the paper. I know, yeah, that's a big preacher move. The last Whiskey and Wine during the OTs, whenever something good would happen for A&M, we were chanting "No hose for Hugh," and then whenever something good would happen for Auburn, we were chanting "Hose for Hugh." So eventually, shout out to Hugh Freeze, he won the hose. But hey, I don't joke about hose. Okay, I draw the line. I draw the line at prostitution. It's the world's oldest profession, and it deserves some respect. Okay,
got to make some money somehow.
How much CTE did Nick Fairley give you?
Too much. Draw the line.
All right, guys.
Draw the line somewhere.
No. Yes. Do not draw the line, guys. That is not how comedy works.
Would I get fired if I did put that? Would you think I'd get fired if I did put that in my?
I think. Look, I'm not saying you should do it like in a series. No, you would not get fired. Get fired? What? Why would you get fired?
I don't know. Because
if they fired you for that, I mean, bro, we have active genocides going on in the world. You think anyone should give a fuck about CTE? Like, what are we talking about? We're on the verge of World War III and global economic collapse. Yeah. I just want to watch fucking LSU, Oklahoma, Saturday Night Death Valley.
Thank God for Bitcoin.
Yeah, because that's going to save us. Thank God for crypto, the solution to all of the world's ills. I draw the line at Bitcoin. Okay, I don't joke about Bitcoin. It's going to save the world. My name's Darren Murray.
Bitcoin,
right, guys.
Hedera.
What? Oh yeah, Hedera. Is that H bar or whatever?
H bar.
Yeah, hit up Hedera. I don't know if I'm getting scammed or not. But hit up Hedera. You never know, right?
TBob gave me a coin the other day, and I'm just like doing some research trying to figure out if TBob's trying to scam my ass or not.
I don't fucking know, dude. Somebody just told me to do it. I was like, whatever. Sure. All right.
See y'all. I will be doing a post Georgia Tech game show Friday night, so be on the lookout for that.
Oh, I'll do that.
Okay.
I got I'm staying here Friday. I thought I was driving back Friday or flying back Friday. I'm going to drive back early Saturday with my family, so I'll be here Friday night.
Perfect.
Done. Oh, maybe we do it together. That might be fun.
I'll be in Lexington, but
shit, never mind.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we love you so much, for real. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoy the football, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your food. Hopefully you get to spend it with some people you love. If you don't, chin up. And I hope things get better. All right, guys, we love you, and we'll see. And I'll get you the 13-yard return footage next.